If we go into About Us, News and Media, just as an example, I've set something up that Chrome is stupid about. Yeah, here we go. About Us, News and Media. Just a heads up, Chrome will cache almost every website that you go to. For looking at the front end of the website, it might be better to open it up in Safari, and then you could use Chrome for your edits in the back end. Just because it's a lot easier to clear the cache in Safari. If you go to the title and reset Safari, it's going to bounce everything out. So if there's any changes you make that you're not seeing, you can clear the cache in Safari and then copy and paste the link to see here. But going back to what I was saying, see we've got a column here with links. We've got a block of content area, and it's within the margins that we want. It's not spilling from edge to edge of the screen. So the first thing we want to do is to be able to create this sidebar menu. Really weird way we're going about doing this. This is probably one of the only sites we'll actually do this on. But if you go to Professional Advisors, and like we had said earlier, everything that shows up in that drop-down menu, we want that to show up as a sidebar menu option. So the first thing we need to do is create that menu. We go back to our admin panel, and if you go to Appearance and Menus, you'll see an option to create a new menu. We're going to hit this, and we're going to make a Professional Advisors menu. Create that. And then, like we said, we want to move all of those sub pages into that menu. I'm just going to pull the first 2 or 3 over. So we've got working with CFSI. Use the search feature. Working with CS. Okay. Come on, computer. I can type, I promise. It's going to be a long day. Working with CFSI. Add to menu, and then our next option was Advisors FAQs. So we're going to search Advisor. We'll just go with the partial search here. Advisors FAQs, add to menu, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. Keep going, fill all those out, and when you're done, you want to go ahead and save that menu. So now we have a manageable menu that we can update easily without having to go into the pages and change that for each individual one. This is kind of our hub for any of the content that's going to show up in this menu structure. Next thing we want to do is add a widget that we can drop this menu into. So if we go over to our widgets tab, if you go to appearance and widgets, I've already got it open here. You can see I've set something up where we can build new sidebars. So we're going to create a new sidebar for Professional Advisors. You have to give it a description. Description has to be all lowercase, and you cannot have spaces, so I'll use underscore in a lot of cases. So if we put that in, lowercase, close that gap, we'll put in a underscore, Professional Advisors. Now we have a sidebar. So if we were to look at the front end of the site, we now have a sidebar that's going to say Professional Advisors, and then we'll be able to include that menu that we created as an option. How do we get that title? How do we get that menu? First thing you want to do is add a arbitrary text or HTML box to the sidebar. Don't use the title bar. Go down to the content area, and we're going to actually plug it in here. Professional Advisors, closed, header 2. And that's going to give us the header 2 style that says Professional Advisors at the top of the sidebar list. Save, you can minimize that, and then we want to use the custom menu option. So we're going to drop that in right below it. And now you will see from the drop down menu, you should see the new option that we created. I am going to refresh this page. Professional advisors, custom menu, and professional advisors. There it is. Save that. So what we just did was created a sidebar that we added the title that says professional advisors. It's going to be the big pretty font like we have right here. And then we created a link to the menu structure that we set up for professional advisors, which will fill in the space just below. So now we want to go to one of the pages under the professional advisors category, and we want to fix it so we don't have all this business going on. We can build in our sidebar and lock the content into that box that we need. So we go ahead and edit the page, and if you have Trello open, go to that, and this second card here, content template, put in the short code that we're going to be using. We're going to take this right here, we're going to copy that, and if we go back to our page, we are going to drop that in at the top, and then we want to take all of our content, our sample content, and cut that and put it between our 2/3 layout markers. So that's going to go right here. We have page content goes here, paste. Okay, next thing you want to look at where we have quarter layout. This is, show you an example. This is the quarter layout section where we're making a fake sidebar. To do that, I'm going to dig into one of our other pages so we can get the shortcut we're using there. So if we go back over here, and I'll add this to the Trello board. This should have been there in the first place. If we edit this page, in that same section, quarter layout section, you'll see the sidebar shortcode that we're using. We're going to copy that and go back in and replace this. And sidebar name is going to be the one that we just created is professional dash, not underscore. We're not using the description, we're using the title that we created. Advisor, plural. Advisors. Okay. So if we update that, what we should have is the sidebar of professional advisors that we created and all of our content in the box within the boundaries of the page. We can hit view page, and Chrome's going to have everything cached. It's not going to look right. So I'm going to copy this link, go into Safari, and hey, what do you know? There we have our professional advisors header and our start for the menu that we were creating. You'll want to do that for all of these pages: advisors FAQs, toolkit, types of funds. You're going to want to use that same block of code to create or add in the sidebar and box in the content. So just to review that again. We're going to go to this content template and I'm going to, well, hang with me, sorry. And this is going to be your example, and we'll just leave this in the code here that you copy. Just make sure that you switch this out with the sidebar that you want to actually use. So Just to review that again, if you already have the menu set up, you already have the sidebar set up, you're just going to be able to go into each one of these pages, just work your way down the list, and edit page, and at the top you're just going to add in that code. You're going to copy all that content, drop it in the 2/3 section, and update your sidebar name. If you get to the next level, so you're going to be using professional advisors for everything that's in that list until you get over to the next category where you'll have a new menu and a new sidebar that you set up. So we update this page. And check it out here, and everything is where it's supposed to be. We may end up bumping down the header size, but we can do that afterwards in the widget section, and it'll update it for all of the pages. So there you have it. Hopefully that helps. I know there's a lot of kind of sections that we bounced around to. Once again, one quick run through. First thing you want to do is go to Appearance and Menus. You want to create the menu and add all of those subpages to it. Next thing you want to do is go to Widgets. You want to create the sidebar, and then you want to add the text and HTML block so you can style the header. You want to add the custom menu option and select the menu that you created and save that. And then the next thing you want to do is go to each of those pages within that category, use this block of code, and drop everything in the right spots. Content, go between the 2/3 layout, and update the sidebar name if needed. Hope that helps. Call me if you have any questions.